I remember the first time I had to fill out the form after leaving the corporate fortress. I got to the field that asked for a title, and my fingers just hovered. For 22 years, that field was my identity. Without CEO or regional head or even head of behind my name, I felt completely naked. If your value is tied to a designation on your business card, you aren't a sovereign owner. You're a high-value tenant in someone else's dream. By the end of this video, you'll have the detox roadmap you need to shed the corporate mask without losing your power. You will learn to own the land of your expertise so that no regulatory shift or board decision can ever make you feel small again. I'm Adeolu Adewumi-Zer, founder and CEO of Zer Consulting Africa. I spent 22 years inside the corporate fortress, perfecting the toga of a high-level executive across Chicago, Munich, Istanbul, Nairobi, and now here in Lagos. I've managed 500 million investment roadmaps, but my real authority comes from the moment I had to shed that same mask to find my own land. We all make the same mistake. We confuse the halo of that corporate identity, that big name, that multinational, that local champion for our own light. But when that halo is removed, we experience an identity crisis that becomes a bottleneck, a choke around our own neck. Now, don't get me wrong, being at that corporation has all the benefits, and I want you to take advantage of those. But I don't want you to confuse your identity with the benefits that the corporate name is giving you. Rather, use it to your own advantage. View that corporation as a utility, as a platform, so that you can start to build your own personal brand, build your land, rather than a cage to define your worth. So when I was in the corporate world, I really owned my space within that world. I thought that this is where I would be forever. When people talked about going out my own, going into entrepreneurship, I thought, no, that's really not for me. I am the typical loyal corporate employee, the so-called 9-to-5 stooge. I had the suits, I had the heels, I had the hairstyles, I had infused my own Afro-optimistic brand into those trappings, and so really thought I had made it my own, really thought I had found my voice within the corporate space. But what I hadn't realized is that, unbeknownst to me, I was actually hiding a piece of myself. I had somehow lost the hunger, thinking that being on small teams, having to build from scratch, even building in a space, in a regional space where others didn't know, I really felt that within the space I was acting as an entrepreneur. But the fact of the matter is, it's tough to keep that edge, to keep that hunger with all the comforts and trappings of pension plans, health benefits, company cars, drivers, full-time staff, housing, etc., schools for your kids. Are you able to maintain these trappings of the corporate life when that corporate life is no longer accessible to you? That's what you need to keep in mind. Not to refuse the trappings, but refuse to be defined by those trappings. The next thing you need to do is to watch out for the supportive cage. Your colleagues mean the best. They feel like they're really helping you, that they're being supportive, that they're encouraging you to go after the next rung, to get to that next level, defining you by your title. But what you need to do is to break that cycle, not by pushing the title away. You've earned it, but to remember and never forget the why that is driving you to that next level in the first place. Because what it is your expertise is the constant. Yes, your title reflects all the competencies, and I want you to take advantage of all the benefits, but don't confuse that title. But remember that your character is the source of them. You have to remember, titles are temporary. The land of your expertise is permanent. When I left the fortress, the silence was deafening. I want to ask you, if the walls came down today, who's the person standing in the rubble? What's the one thing you're afraid you'd lose if you lost your title? If this resonated with the unmasked version of you, please like and comment. Subscribe and hit the bell to join these weekly sessions. Forward this to a peer who's currently wearing the toga, and then watch the next video on the Corporate to Founder Detox.